Where's her engagement ring? What did you do with it? And why did you hand this ring over to your friend?
Bad decisions.
No. There's a reason. You made choices. They were bad choices. And when you made these choices, you didn't think about how your employer was going to feel. You didn't think, hey, let me not do this because they're really helping me out. You were thinking about 2025 CR 0045569 State versus Jennifer Chambers. Can I have parties announced?
Alexander Cross for the defense.
And are you Ms. Chambers? Did you review I'm sorry, counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
All right, Ms. Chambers, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with theft of property, $2,500 to $30,000 as a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
She is and was, Your Honor.
Ms. Chambers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived the right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $1,000 fine to be probated. There's to be restitution to the complainant in the amount of $7,025. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry, and the state is recommending community supervision. Is that the plea, state, and defense?
It is, Judge.
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending your community supervision be for a term of 3 years and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Judge, we offer exhibit number 1.
No objections.
The state, have you spoken with the complainant?
Yeah.
Thank you. You may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. All right, where's her engagement ring? What did you do with it?
I had to get to a friend, and
You need to go get that ring back from that friend.
I don't communicate with her anymore. I don't.
You better pick up the phone, find that friend. This lady wants her engagement ring back.
I know that my friend. Well, she's not my friend anymore, but she's currently incarcerated.
Oh, well, you don't have her family members. I don't think they let her take the ring to the prison with her.
Right.
And why did you hand this ring over to your friend?
It was bad decisions.
No. There's a reason. If you steal something like a ring or a car and you hand it over to somebody, you're expecting something. So why did you hand her this engagement ring?
Because she said that she could be able to sell it.
All right. So here's the thing. I'm not going to sentence you yet. You're going to come in here on the day of sentencing with $7,025 because that's how much the appraisal is for that ring. And that's what you agreed to, the amount that you owe. And I'm giving you 60 days to come up with that amount. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 60-day reset. And you need to come in. State, is this by cashier's check or money order?
We have money order.
All right. 60 days?
April 6th.
All right, April 6th.
Your Honor, I don't think she's going to be able to get that amount of money in that amount of time.
April 6th, $7,025. She can either bring that or she can bring that person's engagement ring back. I think they probably prefer the engagement ring.
Your Honor, would we be able to withdraw the plea at that date?
She needs to come in with that amount.
But it's because we agreed to have the 3 years be the amount of time for her to get the money.
No.
I think we'd have to request a withdraw the plea. That was part of our agreement.
Mhm. All right. So state they want to withdraw their motion. Will you all be ready for jury trial on this tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Judge, I think he has already been made on record. We're just holding it back for sentencing. They can't pull it back now.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have to accept any plea bargain agreements that have been reached. What I'm telling you, though, is you're either going to come in here on February 6th with that $7,000 and $7,025 for the cost of that engagement ring, or either you need to come back here with that engagement ring and for the complainant to say, yes, this is my engagement ring. So, April 6th. And if you don't have that and you want to, I'll consider not accepting your plea and we will be going to jury on that day.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Is calling 2025 CR 004569 State versus Jennifer Chambers. Can I have parties announced?
Alexander Krause for the defense.
All right. And are you Miss Chambers? All right. You entered a plea on February 2nd, and we've been waiting for the return of this ring since then. And according to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's $1,000 fine that's to be probated. There's to be restitution to David Golden of $7,025. And I don't think there was a PSI. Is that correct? All right. So with regards to the $7,025, that's the cost of the ring, correct?
That was the cost of the engagement ring, Judge, yes, but the wedding band is left.
All right. And what is the restitution for the wedding band?
$1.
All right. Is there going to be any objection to that amount, or do we need to take testimony?
Judge, it wasn't alleged that the wedding band was taken, and as far as I understand, and we don't know much about that in terms of where the wedding band is.
The underlying stipulations do say that there was 2 rings taken, Judge. The indictment does not allege the wedding band, but I do think there is evidence to support that finding. That ring was taken as well.
All right. So are you all objecting to $1,342.28 for the cost of the wedding band?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So when will you be able to pay off the $1,342.28?
If you could give me at least 5 to 6 months, I could have it paid off.
All right, so that means that you have to pay approximately $224 per month. Are you able to do that? Are you sure? Because that's what's going to be expected. So are you able to pay that off at the beginning of the month or the end of the month?
Preferably the end.
Okay, and if you're drug tested today, what would the results be?
Okay.
I'm sorry?
I would please.
All right, so we're going to do a UA today. And are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work for American Ingredients,
Oh, what do you do there?
merchandising.
Okay. Do you have any children?
They're grown.
Okay. Grandchildren?
Yes.
And what is your relationship with them? Do they come visit you? Do they stay with you?
I know, just visit.
Okay. All right, this is what the court will do. I'm
Before
sorry.
we do that, Judge, I do have Mr. Golden, I would like to call as a witness.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes.
Okay. State House Dave Golden.
Good morning. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
David Golden.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Judge, Mr. Golden, how did you come to know Ms. Chambers?
She was an employee of mine for the rings company Courtroom.
What did the rings represent to you?
A lot of hard work to be able to obtain those rings. Commitment to my wife. A lot of sentimentality.
Were you able to get replacement rings?
I did have to purchase a ring, only because it made my wife so sad not to be able to wear her rings out. I did purchase a ring in the amount of $700. Obviously nowhere near, was able to afford the first son, but I did have to buy it.
How has this theft incident affected you?
It's really affected me deeply. So not only was she an employee, but the reason that she was in the house was because she was low on hours and she had asked if I had any additional work. So I decided to open her home and bring her hands all the really neat cleaning. My wife's clinically OCD and it was really just to give her more hours. So considering that, this wasn't just anybody, right? Like this was the house of your employer. And the reason you were there is because your employer felt bad for hours. And on top of that, it affected me in the sense of like being able to open up my home with anybody else. And of course, the emotional trauma that this has caused between us as well. Losing that ring.
Okay, and then finally, what would be justice in this case?
For me, justice would look like restitution being paid out to myself prior to cost going towards probation. I would like the cost of the replacement ring included as well in the perfect world, only because the events of her actions led up to me having to purchase that replacement ring. And while I don't need to be fair, I'm a reasonable person, so while I understand that you did find the engagement ring that was returned, not the wedding ring itself, the engagement ring, I don't think it's feasible to ask for maximum penalty. But I I don't believe that, probation would be appropriate, in my opinion, only because I did a lot of work myself on this case. I took the initial video of her confessing to her taking the rings up to actually following the police and waiting for them to come and pick her up at the store. So having said that, her being surprised, she had a warrant when she was pulled over. Her trying to change lanes when the cops pulled up behind her, already put a sirens on, a video of all of that. That just shows a lack of accountability to me. And having her grandsons with her while she was getting arrested, there's just, the grandsons, it's just as if it was another day. Like, I have kids myself. My kids would be freaking out. Like, why are the police here? Why are they cuffing grandma, right? And having said that, she is a grandma and she is as old as she is. Right? I would expect much more from somebody like that. But again, this is such a personal crime because of the opportunity. But I think that, in my opinion, should wait on punishments.
No questions from me.
Right. Thank you. What I can tell you is the plea bargain agreement that's been reached to the parties is that the court give her probation. Now, I don't have to follow that agreement. However, what I can tell you is I'm going to follow the probation agreement in this case. And one of the reasons is because the ring has been returned. I know that you didn't have it for a length of time. And I know that you had to purchase a replacement. Legally, I'm not allowed to give you money for the replacement ring. If legally I could give you or order restitution for that, I would. I understand that engagement rings are very personal. That is why this case took so long, because when people say they don't know where an engagement ring is, I'm like, sure you do. It's either at the pawn shop. If it's not at the pawn shop, then somebody has it that you gave it to. So, this is where we are, and that's all I can do.
Is there, I spent a lot of time here as well. I'm not paid being here, and well, I certainly do understand what you're saying. Of course, respect the decision as well. But it's really hard to, accept the fact that I went through all this emotional toll. At the end of the day, got half of my property back. Went through all this. I've been here, spent days in court, spent days consoling my wife, crying, and she's had run-ins with the law before. Looked her up, and I always said a thief will always be a thief, and he's not going to stop it. This is the procedure to these guys off, and hopefully it kind of sucks, if you will, like for me to go through all that and then she just gets a slap on the wrist.
Well, what I can tell you is that this is a felony conviction. All thefts are considered crimes of moral turpitude. So there are certain occupations that she won't be allowed to have because of this offense. Anything that involves a license, they're going to see this on her record. Things like being a cashier, things about like working around money, she's not going to be allowed to do that. And as her conditions with me, I'm not going to allow her to work into people's homes or with vulnerable people because of the nature of this offense. So I know sometimes with restitution, people want the time they've been off of work. They want other things, and it's just legally, I'm not allowed to do that. Now, the engagement ring that was returned to you, if there was some damage to that engagement ring that wasn't there before, and then yes, can pay for that. When I say pay for that, I can order restitution for that. If that ring had to be cleaned, can charge restitution for that. But that's the only thing that I'm allowed to do. And they've agreed to the restitution for the wedding band. And that's going to be paid. And she's going to have to pay that $224 every month at the end of the month. And what I can tell you is that will be paid before any other fees will be paid. And if she doesn't pay that, then a motion to revoke will be filed. And that's all legally I can do.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for your efforts. Appreciate it. You had a lot to do with it as DA, but else.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you. Is there anything else?
Judge, I just asked that the court consider that, excuse me, my client made a mistake.
No. Choices.
My client made a choice. And shortly thereafter, she understood that it was a bad choice, and she's been instrumental in locating the ring. If it were not for her efforts, that ring would still be in a property. And I understand.
I understand your argument, but what were not for her taking that ring, she wouldn't be here. So the fact that she is trying to make it right by, having that ring return, you don't get any points for that, because my mind is a steel trap. I remember when she first came before me, she said she didn't have any idea where that ring was. I'm like, did you take it to a pawn shop? Well, I don't remember. I'm like, either that ring is at a pawn shop and somebody else has bought that ring, which they shouldn't, because the police should have put it in the system, which I know sometimes the police don't do. And then the next thing you know, she's telling me, 2 months later, oh, my boyfriend has it. And the only reason why she told me where this ring was is because there were going to be consequences if that ring wasn't turned over. So here's the thing. I see where we are now. I'm going to grant her application for probation. She's going to make sure that she pays $224 at the end of each month. That's where we are. And you need to make better decisions, because I'm sure, do you have photos of your grandchildren? That's a yes. What is the most important thing to you other than your grandchildren? And I'm talking about a material thing. Is it the photos? Is it some letter that maybe your grandchild wrote to you, or some card that somebody gave to you? What if I needed employment and I said, hey, give me some extra hours? And you say, Stephanie, I really don't need any work, but I'm going to help you out. And I'm going to let you come into my house, and I'm going to pay you money to work in my house. And then I decide to take something from you that is irreplaceable. And I will tell you, engagement rings, those are irreplaceable. Even if you go out and get the exact ring, guess what? The wife is still going to know that's really not my ring. That's not the one that we picked out, or my family helped you pick out. That's not the one you proposed with. So these are choices. You made choices. They were bad choices. And when you made these choices, you didn't think about how your employer was going to feel. You didn't think, hey, let me not do this because they're really helping me out. You were thinking about yourself. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility. That's going to be suspended and probated for 4 years. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There is, state, you may be excused. There is going to be regular UAs. There's going to be a UA today. And Bashan, if you could send her for a UA. There's going to be restitution of $1,342.28 to David Golden. And that's to be paid in installments of $224 per month. Ms. Abrams, are you able to pay this month? If you can't, just tell me you can't. Okay. we're going to start July. At the end of each month, beginning July, she needs to make payments of $224.
Judge, did you say 4 years or 3 years?
4 years.
Okay.
There's to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors or any employment involving the exchange of currency. And if you do have employment where they're allowing you to exchange currency, then what you'll need to do is you'll need to provide proof to the court that they're aware of this charge. You understand? Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. $1,000 fine, that'll be probated. 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once the parenting classes are completed, 60 hours will be deemed satisfied. And there's going to be the felony theft course. And once that's completed, the remaining 60 hours will be satisfied. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors until completion of parenting classes. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right. Did you review this document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? Make better choices. All right, good luck to you. Thank you.
Jennifer Chambers pleaded guilty to stealing an engagement ring valued at $7,025 from her employer. During sentencing, Judge Boyd questioned why Chambers had given the ring to a friend to sell, especially after the victim explained how deeply the theft affected him and his wife. The judge emphasized that the ring represented their marriage and could not simply be replaced with another one. Chambers was given probation instead of immediate jail time, but the consequences were strict. She received a 2-year state jail sentence suspended for 4 years, restitution totaling $13,428 and monthly payments of $224. She was also ordered to complete community service, parenting classes, theft-related programming, drug testing, and regular reporting. The judge restricted her from working in home health care, with minors, or in jobs involving money, unless properly disclosed. Ultimately, the judge warned Chambers that her actions were choices and urged her to make better ones in the future.